Hey, good morning. So, in this little video here, I want to look at a few graphs uh, that are a little different. This one really isn't that much different than the ones we looked at with the polynomials, but these two especially, uh, you'll notice that they don't go on forever in both directions. So, first one, just identify the domain and range of these two types, and then we'll mention those critical points again. So for the domain, remember that's all the x values. So how far left and right it goes. In this case, the furthest left it ever gets is right here, and it's that x value. So the domain would be -4 to something, and it actually does include -4, so I'm going to use brackets. -4, and the furthest right it goes is right here, which is +5. All right. And if you were doing that algebraic notation, I guess it'd be -4. It'd be the less than or equal to sign, the one with a bar under it, and then x, and then a 5, with a bar under it as well. We'll just do it in interval notation because that's all I have access to here. Our range, the lowest it ever gets to is this y value, so -7, and the highest it ever gets up to is that 5 right there. Okay. Now, I want you to go ahead and take a second and try to identify how many turning points this thing has, and what are the turning points. Okay, so go ahead and think about that for just a moment. Okay, so as far as turning points go, remember those are the x values where it changes direction. So right here, it's going from down to up. So that would be one of our turning points, and it'd be 0. All right, and then the other turning point would be right here where it goes from up to down. So it'd be this 2, all right, that x value there. And then those y values, 1 would be a relative minimum, and the 2 here would be a relative maximum. All right. And then I guess as far as your increasing and decreasing, yeah, I can go ahead and mention that real quick. So for our, well, how do I, selector. So as far as our increasing and decreasing goes, it decreases from -4 until it gets to 0 right here. So we would say -4 to 0, parentheses, that's right, because it's neither increasing or decreasing at that spot or at 0 here. But it's also decreasing from 2, from that x value, until it gets to 5. So union 2 to 5. All right, and that would be our interval of decrease. And then increasing would be this one interval right here, which would be an x value of 0 and an x value of 2. So it's increasing from 0 to 2. Okay. On this picture right here, go ahead and try to figure out what the domain and range is, and go ahead and identify the turning points and relative min and max and interval of increase real quick. Give you a few seconds, you can pause. Okay, our domain, the furthest left it goes is -10, so brackets there, and the furthest right it goes is right here, which would be +9. All right, our range, the lowest it goes is right here or here, which is a y value of 0, and the highest it ever gets to is 8 right there. That's the highest it ever gets to. And then let me go ahead and copy this part. As far as turning points go, turning points, not right here. This is a kind of tricky one. So this is actually not a turning point at -6 because it's not going from decreasing to increasing or from, like this one, increasing to decreasing. So that's a turning point right there. Here, so this spot right here would be a turning point at -4. And here would also be a turning point at 0. So it's going downwards to upwards. And also right here, which is a +2. But this and this, these are not turning points. It's going down and then it's kind of leveling out. This is neither increasing or decreasing right here. So this is not a down to up spot. Now, if it had gone up like that, then it would have been. So let's see. Need to erase that little spot I just drew. Boy, it's kind of weird, this web paint. All right, so those are your 3 turning points. Right there, there, and there. And that's the kind of question I'll ask you like on a test is how many turning points? As far as increasing and decreasing, it is neither increasing or decreasing right here, but from -6 up until -4, so this little interval, from -6 to -4, it is increasing, -6 to -4. It is also increasing from 0 to this x value here. So from there to there, it's increasing. And I want to use those x values. So 0 to 2. And then over here, not increasing or decreasing. So decreasing would be from here all the way to here, which is going to be -4. Remember, that's where we left off on that one. -4 to 0. And it's also decreasing from 2 until it gets to 5. Okay, so this set right here and here, even though it's in the domain, the function is not increasing or decreasing on those little intervals right there.